Hey everybody, I know this is an odd time for me to make a video. This is Erica from In the Company of Cards. I'm not exactly camera ready, but I did want to come on as soon as I heard the news. Mark Carney having won the election, Mark Carney of the Liberal Party having won the election in Canada. So, I'm in teacher mode tonight, just because of this particular situation. So I have read on this election many times. If you go back and you look at my videos, I read on it a lot. And every single time I saw Carney winning. There was not a time that I did not see Carney winning until the last video. And in that last video, you might have just seen my face. I was like, wait, what? I couldn't understand how the cards were what they were, um, because they came out in favor of Poilievre. First of all, I'm delighted, just my personal opinion, delighted that Poilievre did not win. Some of you may disagree, and that's okay. Um, so what happened? Like, why was I seeing consistently reading after reading after reading? And I must have read on this election maybe 5 times in the past few months. Why did I consistently see Carney and then all of a sudden, the last time I looked, Poilievre? Now, I could come up with a lot of reasons. I'll tell you one, which is that I what I always say is if I predict something and you don't like it, if you are at all able to change that outcome, then do your part to change that outcome, right? I mean, make sure you vote. Bring your friends to vote. Bring your family. Encourage everyone to vote. So I could say, oh, yeah, that's why people weren't going to come out, but then they decided to come out to change. I don't think that's it. I think it was more about me. And so what I also said to you was that on that last video, that I had a Canadian friend who was pro Poilievre and gave me all kinds of astrological reasons why Poilievre would win. And even though I thought that that didn't influence my reading, it must have influenced my reading. That's the only explanation I can come up with. Because prior to that, every single time I read, I saw Carney. So, what's the lesson in all of this for you and also for me? And it's always good to do to refresh your your understanding of how these things work. Is to it's good to listen to other people's opinion, but it's also easy to let other people's opinion and other people's desires get in your head and influence your reading. So, what I'm going to say, I always say that, ego has no part in this work. I have an ego because I'm a human being. We all have egos, right? And what I like to say is that when I read, I put the ego in the back seat of my car with a juice box and an iPad, and I, make sure to tell it not to kick the seat, to kick my seat because I'm driving. And I think I must have forgotten the juice box, or I forgot the iPad, or I forgot the admonition not to kick my seat because I think I let my seat get kicked. And I let my friend's desire for a certain outcome combined with this sort of theoretically objective um, astrological data that she presented me with, I think I let it sway my reading. And it's weird to think that that could happen. Like, it certainly wasn't the outcome I wanted for Poilievre to win. I didn't want Poilievre. So how did that get into my psyche to the extent that I saw something different than I'd seen for months? But anyway, um, this is why psychics are never 100%. No diviner is going to get 100%. I'd say I'm probably accuracy wise, I'm pretty good. I would say 80 to 90%. But I would say that this last call, was probably a call I shouldn't have even made. I should have just said, I've read on this many times, and every single time it's been Carney. And so I'm just going to stay with that and let that be Carney. So I learned that lesson. And I hope for you, if you are a budding reader, if you're a seasoned reader, let it be a reminder um, to give those three things. You got to give it a juice box, your ego, give it an iPad, and give it the finger. Do not kick the back of my seat while I'm driving. So anyway, I am delighted by this outcome. Again, it's none of my business because I'm not Canadian, but I love a lot of Canadians. I have a lot of Canadian friends, and I love Canada. And as I've mentioned, I went to Canada the morning after our election, and everyone was so kind and compassionate about my pain. So I am glad that for my Canadian friends, um, I don't have to console anyone except that one friend. Um, but uh, things go up, things go down. I just think this was really a very, very good sign. Uh, I was told by this friend that this was not this election would not be a referendum on Trump. Well, of course it was a referendum on Trump. A lot of other things too, obviously. Canada is Canada. But I think that the Canadian people wanted to send a message um, that they will not be trumped and chumped the way that we've been trumped and chumped. And you know what? Good for you, Canada. They say the North Star's in the North for a reason. I look to Canada as my North Star. And I hope that a lot of other Americans will do the same. We'll see what's possible. We'll see what the vote can do, and how important it is to vote, and how really you don't have a leg to stand on in terms of your opinion about an election if you don't vote. Because what are you doing? So anyway, I will come on tomorrow to look at other issues, but I did want to come on tonight and just say, oh, mea culpa, because I didn't listen to my own common sense and my own inner wisdom, which told me 5 separate times, you can go back and look at those videos, that Carney would win. I let somebody get in my head, and that affected my reading. I will not do that again. And you can hold me to that. All right. Much love to you all, and I'll see you tomorrow with some other issues around the world. But in the meantime, Canada, great job. Take care.